Welcome back to my next playthrough series. No, it's not Star Wars Rebellion. It is Star Wars The Clone Wars. It's a pandemic system game. And we're going to go through a little bit of the quick setup here and get into some gameplay. We will be playing against, there are 4 villains that you can play against. We're going to be playing against Asajj Ventress. It says, the Sith assassin strikes against the Jedi and the Republic at the command of her master, Count Dooku. Alright, she's got 3 health. That will become important while we're playing. And it says, if Ventress is on a mission planet, advance the threat. Which brings us right over here to the threat tracker. If this threat tracker ever gets to Darth Sidious down here, we lose! And that's how we lose the game. She doesn't start on the board quite yet. She's part of the setup. Yes, and with her and every other character, there are 6 cards that come with them. This is their AI card. This is how they operate. And we'll see them in action when we play. And there's also the special marker to remind us that she has that special ability. If she is on a mission space, then the threat tracker advances 1 towards Darth Sidious. Alright, let's take a super quick look at the player turn, and then we'll get into the rest of the setup. And by super quick, I mean super quick. So a player turn, we're going to it's 2-player solo. So the solo game is virtually a 2-player game, but you control both Jedi instead of having 2 separate people. So is there a real solo version? Not really, but 2-handed solo, I like playing games that way anyway, so it works perfectly. Alright, the player turn. You ready your cards, you'll see how that works. Do 4 actions. Activate the villain, which is drawing 1 of her cards. Invade planets, which is drawing, kind of like the pandemic cards, the location cards, so droids will come out, and you have a hand limit of 7 cards in your hand at all times, maximum. That's how the play works. Alright, let's do the rest of the setup. And I should say at the very top of the board you have an invasion tracker. This is kind of like the pandemic one, where how many cards you draw during the invasion phase. So 2, and then it's going to be 3, and then up to 4. If you get to 4 and you have to go farther, it doesn't go anywhere. We have 2 different missions, an orange mission, and we have a white mission. Alright, we also have this cool die in the game we'll be rolling. It's a giant 12-sided, really cool, like it. And this will designate our first player for our solo game. This just keeps going back and forth. Alright, let's see, what do we have to do? There's a whole bunch of setup to go through, so I'm just going to figure that out. I think the first thing we do is populate the planets with the droids. There are 36 droids. If you ever need to put a droid onto the board, you can't. The threat track advances, and we have 3 Trade Federation blockaders, little space station blockader ships. There's 3 of them. Whenever you put one on a board, which is an overrun, sort of, it doesn't work quite the same way as Pandemic, but we'll see, then the threat goes up as well. So there's that. Droids have 1 health, Trade Federation ships have 2 health, and as you've already seen, Asajj Ventress there has 3 health, and yes, you can attack her, knock her off the board. We'll see how that all works. Alright, let's get into more of the setup. Alright, first we're going to be doing the invasion card deck. So in that deck there are these 2 cards pertaining to missions. So mission planet orange, mission planet white, and these are put into the discard pile right away, so we know those will be coming up eventually. Then you shuffle these cards a la Pandemic. These are your location cards, basically, invasion cards. And we're going to be drawing 2, and the first 2 we draw get 3 droids. The second 2 cards we draw get 2 droids. The last 2 cards we draw get 1, and the very last card that we put 1 droid down on also gets Asajj Ventress. She's going to be on that location. Alright, so for the first 2, whoops, let's do it this way. The first 2, Coruscant is going to get 3, Kashyyyk will get 3, and they have a nice little map here kind of telling you where the cards are. So 3 and 3, and then for 2, Sereno is going to get 2, which is over here. I probably mispronouncing it. Toydaria is going to get 2, and then the final ones, Dothamir is going to get 1, and yeah, I'm putting the cards in a certain order, and on Geonosis is where we're going to get 1 droid plus, yep, she's going to be out on the board there. So let me just get that set up. These are just going to go into the draw deck. Over here I have my little card holders, and let me get that set up, and we'll come on to the next part of setup. Alright, all the droid armies are out on the board, and I just want to point out, this is so cool, the actual models themselves for the droids, there are 3 different sculpts. Like, seriously? In this game? So you get the crouching one, the running one-hander, and the standing still two-hander. Just, I don't know, a neat little touch to the game. Alright, let's get back into the rest of setup. Alright, on to the next part, and that is choosing our Jedi. So there are 7 that come with the game, and we're going to give this a shuffle. So we're just going to grab 2 randomly. So the 2 Jedi we're going to be playing with are Aayla Secura. She has a free action, move up to 2 planets, and that's our first Jedi. And our second one we're going to be playing with is Yoda. Free action, move another Jedi up to 2 planets. Wow, we're going to be able to just move around the board like crazy. So those are the 2 that we're going to be playing. The rest, back in the box. We won't be using them this playthrough. Alright, and then we have a deck, a massive deck of these cards. We have some special cards to discard these special abilities, as you can see there. We have defense cards, we have ship cards, we have attack cards, and we have stealth cards, and that's what this deck is basically made up of. And when we start with a 2-player game, or the solo 2-player, any 2-player game, they're each going to get 3 cards, and they're just face up, it's all common information. There's no hidden information in the game, so this is pretty cool. So you can play it solo, no problem. Alright, and let's see, did enough of a shuffle. 3 cards for each. Of the 3 cards we're going to get to there, she's going to have 5s, and they all have names, different art and names on every card. Really? Very cool. She gets 1 stealth card. She also gets Gregor, another stealth card. And she gets Padme. Alright, cool. Discard during an action to get 2 extra actions. So those are the 3 cards we have starting for her. And now Yoda gets, he gets a vehicle, a lat, prevent 1 damage. We'll get into these cards and play the game. They're all pretty self-explanatory. He also gets a little ETA-2 Actus fighter, letting you move 1 extra space, and he has Cody, which is a clone attacker. Alright, this then goes over here. You can barely see it here. The squad deck. There we go. So that is those guys set up, and now we got to figure out where, I'm going to grab their miniatures, and we have to figure out where on the board they are going to show up. And if I'm mispronouncing names, I apologize. I'm not a Star Wars aficionado knowing every pronunciation for everything. Alright, so here we have our cool little miniatures for Jedi. We have Yoda, and we have Aayla? Secura. We'll just call her Secura. Okay, where do they show up? Well, we have 5 of these cards in the game. And these are reference cards. They tell you what your actions are, which we can look at here quickly. You can fly, you can attack, you can reinforce, which is draw a card, and you can attempt a mission. You have 4 actions on your turn, plus your free action on your card, on your player card. Alright, so we're going to shuffle these up. So, where's Aayla going to start? We'll give her this one, and she's going to start at Christophsis. And that is way over here, so she begins the game there. And Yoda will start on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees. Oh, cool. There's 3 enemies right there. So, and these serve no other function for the rest of the game except showing you what your actions are. So that, and it also lets you set up where your starting location is. Alright, it is time now to populate the 2 missions on the deck. But how many missions are we playing with? Well, let's consult the book and find out. Alright, so located in the rule book on page 3, we have sort of the difficulty during the mission setup. So, the difficulty level, if we want to do Padawan difficulty, we just do 3 missions, Jedi Knight 4, Jedi Master 5, Jedi Grandmaster 6+. I don't think we're going to do Jedi Grandmaster. Do we want, you know what, let's do Jedi Knight. Now, the game comes with 24 missions, so that you can see the replayability there. That is pretty cool. Alright, let's get our mission set up. Here's our mission deck, and like I said, there's 24. That's pretty generous for the game, especially, I mean, yeah, we're going to play through 24. Yeah, there's impossible. You'll never, I don't think you'd ever win with 24, all 24 missions. Alright, let's get the missions set up. I'll show you how that works. Alright, so over on the side of the board we have the orange mission, which will be the first one we pull. We have the white mission. They're going to be somewhere out on the board. So we've shuffled up our deck here. I'll give it another little bit of a half-hearted shuffle here. And we're going to be doing 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 Jedi Knight. All right, and they're going to go up here to be pulled. So, and the rest back in box. We're not going to need them for this playthrough. All right, let's see where our first mission, or what it is and where it is. The first mission we are dealing with is Children of the Force. It's going to be at Mustafar. When completed, the current Jedi moves up to 2 speed. Wow, we're just movement. Ooh, you take 2 damage though. So how this works, you can use attack cards, which are these ones indicated with the attack symbol. Yoda's got one of them. And you can also use these cards for, you could use one of these to give you basically 1 success. So what we're looking for here in this mission is 6 successes using the attack and the flight icons. If both Jedi are in the same location, you can use cards from either one. So you could combine your things. Now, if you do not complete this, if you fail to get 6, you do not take the 2 damage pips showing here. If you complete this mission, you will take 2 hits, plus any hits you've rolled on your dice, your die. So you can see here the die has like a couple of Jedi, or a couple lightsaber symbols and a hit. Here's just 2 hits, here's 3 and a hit. So it's a whole bunch of different stuff. There's blank on there as well. So that's kind of how that works. So that's our first mission. That is at Mustafar. Alright, so all we need to do to remind ourselves where that mission is we put the token down at Mustafar. Alright, let's take a look at the next one. And our next mission of 4, and we have to complete all 4 missions before we can take on the boss. And then you defeat the boss, you win the game. Did I mention how that works? And you lose the game if the threat goes down to the Darth Sidious level. That's the only way to lose the game. Alright, what else do we have? We have Assassin. So we can use stealth cards and attack cards. We need 5. We'll take a hit if we complete it. And this is at Alderaan. This mission must be completed twice. Track the completion with an unused piece. Okay, wow. Tenacious bounty hunter Aura Singh makes several attempts to eliminate the key speaker of the humanitarian conference. Wow, okay, so that one is going to be showing up at Alderaan. And Alderaan's down here in the bottom of the map, so that is where that is taking place. And of course, our 2 Jedi are extremely far away from everywhere, but let's keep in mind we have some super good movement ability for the game. Okay, that was setting up our missions. And I think we're pretty close to starting our turn, but let me just check one thing for our final setups. Alright, let's begin the game. We're going to do 1 turn, because we've already done a lot of setup. And we pulled Sakura first, so we're going to have her be first player. And we can take a look at her special ability, if this is going to focus, please. Free action, move up to 2 planets. She can just move up to 2 planets for her free action. Plus, she has 4 other actions. You know what? She's going to go ahead and do that. She's going to use that ability. She can move up to 2, right? Is that what I said? Move up to 2 planets. So she just goes boom, boom. We're going to move her right here with our boss villain and 1 droid. And she's got 4 actions remaining. I think she's going to start drawing some cards and then maybe trying to attack our villain Ventress. So as one of the other actions we can do, so moving is an action, attacking is an action, trying to do a mission is an action. There's also called reinforcing, draw 1 squad card. So we can draw a squad card as an action. She has 4 actions remaining. I think she might even draw 3 cards and then attack. So let's have her do that. Alright, so here we have her 3 cards that she drew. She's got Padme, she's got Fives and Gregor. These are 2 stealth. And we have our huge deck here. So she's got 4 actions. I use beads here for actions just to keep track of stuff. I know it's kind of ridiculous, but if I don't do that, I'm going to get messed up. So her first action, drawing the card. She draws Jesse. So he's an attack. So that's 1 action done. Her second action, she draws Comet. All right, cool. She's got a couple of fight. 1 more action to draw another card, and she gets Rex. Wow! And yes, I shuffle these quite a lot. She has a final action remaining. You can have 7 cards in your hand maximum, and then you have to discard now. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's got 6 cards, a couple of stealth guys, 3 attack guys. She's got a final action left. She's going to do an attack on Geonosis. And how does attack work? Well, attack's pretty simple. You just roll your die, and you're trying to get hits and try not to get hit back. Now, she doesn't have any defense, so she might take some wounds. How you take wounds in this game is you discard cards. Simple as that. All right, so she's going to roll up her die, and she gets 2 hits, just 2 straight up hits. Now, our boss character here, Ventress, has 3 health. If you only do 2 hits to her, she doesn't go anywhere. You have to do the maximum number of hits. They don't accumulate. So we can't put like 2 wounds on her, hit her next time for 1 more and get rid of her. No, you have to do it all or nothing. So far she's got 2 hits. We need a total of 4 hits there to actually knock her off the board and get rid of this droid. So how do we do that? Let's go to her play area and figure it out. All right, when you do an attack action, you can either use your attack characters or your stealth characters. You cannot use a combination of both to add extra hits in the area. So she only needs 2 more hits to do a total of 4. So she's going to use her 2 stealth characters. I put beads on here instead of flipping. You're supposed to tap the cards. I don't know if that's copyright. You're supposed to exhaust your cards. So she'll exhaust these 2 cards. They refresh at the beginning of her next turn. So they will be exhausted until her turn again. That gives her 2 more hits, total of 4. Let's go to the board. We're knocking off Ventress and that droid. All right, we end up knocking Ventress off the board. Don't worry, she'll come back. I guarantee it. She'll definitely be coming back. And the droid is also removed from the board. Boom, great job. That was all of her actions. And so then we go to the next step. So she did all of her actions, did her free action to move there, drew 3 cards, attacked, wiped the board clean. All right, now it is time to activate the villain. How does that work? The villain has 6 cards. We're just going to give them a shuffle since it's the very first turn. And we're going to pull the top card. Once we run out of cards here, you just reshuffle and start again. So the first card for Ventress is Planet Under Siege. Okay. Advance the invasion marker. Well, that's not great, but it is. This is really quite bad, actually. So we advanced 2. This is not good. Draw the bottom card of the invasion deck and fill the matching planet to 3 droids. Now, yes, this is pretty much the epidemic card, or the outbreak card. I forget what it's called for pandemic. All right, we have to draw the bottom of this deck here and fill up Ord Mantell. Oh, wow, of course it's as far away as possible from everybody. We're going to put 3 droids on there, and then this card gets discarded, so let me get that set up. All right, so way down here at the bottom of the board is Ord Mantell. So 3 droids show up here. They're invading, these little guys. Not great. So that is the second part of the Planet Under Siege. And then shuffle the invasion discard pile and place it face down on top of the invasion deck. So let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, all right, so we don't have a heck of a lot of cards here. We got the Mission Orange, Mission White. We could have overruns right away, which would be really bad. We are drawing 2 cards, you can see that, because the next step is invade planets. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle these, put them back on top. I got to forget, okay, they're this way. Give that some more shuffle. And we put them on top of the invasion deck, and we are going to be drawing 2 cards. That will be the end of her turn, Sakura's turn. All right, shuffled enough. On top of the deck, and we're going to be drawing 2 cards, putting 1 droid on each location. All right, what do we get for the first card? We get Toydera, which is right here. Oh boy. So now, as I stretch across the board, it is now up to its full complement of 3 droids. All right, next up we have Coruscant. No, well, it had to happen, so let's take a look at Coruscant. This could be a short playthrough. All right, we have 3 of these blockades. One of them is going to show up on Coruscant. So this is how this works. So we've got 3 here. You can't place a 4th down. You place a blockade down. If you can't place a blockade down, the threat level goes up. When you place a blockade ship down, the threat level goes up anyway. So, and you don't get overruns like you do in Pandemic. So you don't put them out on other planets. You just get a blockade ship here, and the threat goes up 1, so let's do that. All right, the threat level is increasing. We do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more times, and we'll lose the game. And that is the end of Sakura's turn. So I'm going to take the first marker here, and I'm going to put that over on Yoda. And when we come back tomorrow, we'll pick it up with Yoda and go from there. Alright, well that was the setup and our opening actions, or opening turn for Star Wars, The Clone Wars, the pandemic style game. Very cool. We got a lot of trouble down here. We might have, wow, we got we got trouble over the galaxy. And we have 4 missions to complete as well. Yikes. This could get interesting. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. This is Star Wars, The Clone Wars. We're playing with Yoda and Sakura. Sakura? I don't know. I'm mispronouncing everything. I'm not mispronouncing Yoda, though. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. All right. That's going to be it. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching along. I really appreciate it. It really helps out my channel. Hope you join me tomorrow for the continuation. Star Wars, Clone Wars. Up next, going to be Yoda. We'll see what the little guy can do tomorrow. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you then.